Part 195. Back to the 60s, The Struggle Career of a Charmed Wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1941. Since Li Jiaoyang didn't care, Feng Qingxiu wouldn't bother. She understood the couple's taste. Clothes and jewelry weren't a problem, and perming wasn't a problem either. But Grandma Ye cooked a pot of sour plum soup and sent it over. Seeing Feng Qingyun dressed like this, she was shocked at first and blurted out, "Hey, Xiaoyun, what are you wearing? Your hair is permed like big waves. Your sister has never treated you badly. You eat well and have enough nutrition. Your hair is black and thick. Can you comb through the big curly waves with a comb?" Although the dressing has not been as strict as in the past 10 years since the beginning of this year, there are almost no people who dress like her. Feng Qingyun lifted her big curls and threw a coquettish look at her, and yeah, do you think it looks good? It looks good, but it's too ostentatious. Look at your sister and your niece, although they also wear skirts, they are clean and tidy, no one gossips, and secretly imitates them. There are many people in our compound wearing white shirts, green skirts and long skirts, but they are not as good looking as your sister and your niece. Grandma Ye told the truth. Feng Qingyun smiled and said, "I have seen so many people outside, and there are really few who can compare with my sister." "You just tell the truth." Grandma Ye smacked her lips and couldn't help but comment on her dress. "You young people love beauty, I understand, so I'm not like some old guys who say that you wear skirts and are immoral. More than 10 years ago, bras were still popular. Loveliness and beauty are a gradual process. Don't scare people. If you are more strict, you won't even get ordinary skirts." "Yun, and yes, words are good advice," Feng Qingxiu said. Feng Qingyun actually stayed in foreign countries and Hong Kong for a long time. The atmosphere there is much more open than in the mainland. It is difficult to change back to the conservative dressing style for a while. She did not dare to mention her experience of wearing bikinis and sunbathing with good friends such as Christine and almost peeling off a layer of skin. She hurriedly changed the subject. "Sister, don't say this to Aunt Ye about me. I saw many lesbians with permed hair on the streets of Shanghai and the capital. The difference is that they all have small permed flowers, while I have big curls in Hong Kong." Grandma Ye was surprised and said, "I haven't left the compound for the past few months because of the heat. Is perming becoming popular in our country?" "Of course not. If you don't believe it, you can ask Jiaoyang." Grandma Ye looked at Li Jiaoyang, and Li Jiaoyang smiled and said, "Yun is right. There are already lesbians with permed hair in Shanghai. Most of them are out people who are going abroad and literary and artistic workers. We found that there are also people in the capital after we came to the capital." Chen Sueniang nodded. "Jiaoyang and Xiaoyun are not lying. At the end of last year, people started to perm their hair in the Silian barber shop in Wangfujing. I noticed it. At first, people who were going abroad and literary and artistic workers permed their hair with letters of introduction. This year, there are gradually female comrades who are not engaged in this industry taking the letters of introduction they got to perm their hair. There is an endless stream of them. How about it, Aunt Ye, do you believe it now?" Grandma Ye had to nod. "I believe it, but is it really developing so fast? I haven't been out for a few months, and it has changed dramatically. I have watched the performances in the art troupe twice, and there is no change. Maybe because you are in the army, so you dare not dress too strangely," Feng Qingyun said uncertainly. "Maybe. Alas, I am old and can't keep up with the trend." Back to the 60s, The Struggle Career of a Charmed Wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1942. After listening to Grandma Ye's words, Feng Qingyun came over and hugged half of her shoulders, and said with a sweet smile, "Everyone says that everyone has a love for beauty. If you ask me, I would say that the love for beauty is always there. And yeah, since Sister Xueniang said that Lian is going to perm people's hair, I'll ask you and Sister to perm their hair tomorrow. Even though you are old, you are still a fashionable old lady. Don't call me Feng Qingxue waved her hand. In her previous life, she didn't like to ruin her hair. Grandma Ye also laughed so much that she kept pushing Feng Qingyun. No, you young people can just perm it. If my old lady really listens to your instructions and perms her hair, she won't be laughed at when she comes back and says I'm an old goblin. It's okay, and yeah, even if you are an old goblin, you are still a fashionable old goblin. Grandma Ye had no more words to say to her. She stretched out her hand and hit her arm. She was almost startled by her bracelet again. What are you wearing? Put a snake head on it. Don't scare people at night. Feng Qingyun put his arms in front of her and showed off the jewelry on his wrists. And yeah, this is a Bulgari watch. It's just made in the shape of a snake. I think it's very unique. I bought one for my sister last year and asked Adrian to bring it to me. Haven't you seen it? I haven't seen your sister wearing it before. Our country does not allow wearing jewelry. Your sister should pay attention to it, Grandma Ye said seriously. Then, she looked at Feng Qingyun's watch from side to side. Foreigners really have ideas. Watches are isn't the watch round and square? It's simple and elegant, but it has a snake head and two real green eyes. I almost thought it was spitting. Feng Qingyun covered her mouth and laughed, and yeah, what you said makes sense. Okay, you girl, stop teasing and yeah. I haven't asked you how you are doing abroad. Are you not focusing on studying and focusing on dressing up? Have you bought this Bulgari watch? Money, why not buy yourself an instrument and don't live up to your talent in music? Feng Qingxue decided to interrogate Grandma Ye while Chen Xuanyang was away. My sister was still very young when she went abroad, and her thinking was not too mature. She was really afraid that her sister would be deceived by the glamorous world abroad, pursue glitz and forget the original intention of going abroad. The pursuit of beauty is not a sin, it is regrettable to put the cart before the horse. Feng Qingyun looked around and asked him, Sister, who made the clothes on you and Fu Bao? They are so beautiful. I looked at them carefully. They are no worse than foreign clothing brands. Foreign clothes are actually made with foreign bodies. As standard. Feng Qingxue picked up a spoon and poured some sour plum soup for everyone. She pointed at Chen Xuanyang and said, she did it all. When the security department called me, I was just about to say, when the situation gets better in a few years, you can open a clothing factory to ensure that the clothes she designs are in short supply. No matter what age, lesbians have an unstoppable pursuit of beauty. It's not as good as what you said. I just make it casually and wear it for my family, so as not to wear the same clothes as others, which is boring. Chen Xuanyang likes to be unique. Speaking of clothes, Feng Qingyun had something in common with her and Fu Bao. The three of them got together and opened the box Feng Qingyun had brought. Feng Qingyun said that inside were the clothes she had brought for her sister and niece. Chen Xuanyang was allowed to pick two pieces that she liked. Although Chen Xuanyang was getting older, her beauty remained the same, which was when she was extremely charming. The river crab is coming, and large-scale revisions are in progress. Many words are revised chapter by chapter. First, I will update the ones promised in the morning. The updates in the early hours of the night will be updated during the day. I urgently revise the blocked chapters. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back to the 60s, The Struggle Career of a Charmed Wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1943. From beginning to end, Li Jiaoyang looked at his girlfriend with eyes filled with doting. Feng Qingxue caught a glimpse of it and unconsciously showed a hint of relief. It was not easy to find someone who was willing to tolerate her from the beginning in her life, so she gave Li Jiaoyang 3 tablespoons of sour plum soup. The soup in the bowl was almost overflowing. Sister, you sit down, I'll do it. Li Jiaoyang held the bowl in both hands politely. Feng Qingxiu smiled and said, you guys come all the way here, sit down and have a good rest, and wait for the three of them to finish discussing all the clothes. It will take half an hour if not an hour, and I won't take care of you. Li Jiaoyang immediately smiled and felt the same. Seeing that the pot was empty, Grandma Ye went home directly carrying the pot ears with one hand to prevent Feng Qingyun from having her hair permed and looking like a fashionable old lady. And yeah, let the scorching sun catch the wind and wash away the dust at noon. Stop cooking and come to our place to eat. Grandma Ye waved her free hand twice behind her back. I heard it. Next, Feng Qingxiu laid out the menu, asked Mrs. Zhang to take out a few dishes from the refrigerator, and asked the orderly to go to the grocery store to buy fish and shrimp. If there is meat, buy some. If there is no meat, forget it. The orderly responded and rode off. After Feng Qingxiu finished communicating with them, she turned around and found that the scene in the living room was very different from before. Fortunately, Dun Dun and Zhuang were not too curious. They sat obediently on the sofa covered with bamboo cushions and drank sour plum soup from glass bowls. As Ye Yan is older, he understands what can and cannot be done. Only Lu Erxian was very shameless. He drank the sour plum soup in one go and shared it with her. He squeezed in between the three girls and squatted to watch the fun. Auntie, did you buy another floral skirt for your sister? Why did you buy her so many floral skirts? I can't wear them out every day. You should think about me and your poor nephew. No one even notices when his shoes are worn out. As he spoke, he straightened one leg and stretched it in front of Feng Qingyun, raising his foot so that she could see clearly the holes in the shoes exposing the toes, and the big toe was still moving. Among the children, he was the one who spent the most on shoes. Maybe it's because he's stronger. Since the beginning of the year, his feet have been one size bigger than Dun Dun and two sizes bigger than Strong. He also runs and jumps a lot, so he has to wear out 2 pairs of shoes in 3 to 5 months. Feng Qingyun was holding a windbreaker and placing it on Chen Swiniang. Lu Erxian drew his attention away. When he lowered his head and looked at it, he suddenly became happy and said, Erxian, are your shoes cool? Everyone wears sandals with exposed toes. Good for you, the sneakers are very fashionable with holes in them. I think they will be very cool, so you don't have to buy sandals. Auntie, don't look down on my shabby shoes. I heard from my uncle and grandpa that you didn't even have a pair of shabby shoes when you were a child. The old man likes to talk about ancient times, and Lu Erxian likes to travel around. I have already heard about the past things from my parents. Feng Qingyun's response was to slap him on the head, causing him to almost fall to the ground. Lu Erxian put his left hand on the ground and finally managed to stabilize his body. He still couldn't get up from his crouching position and shouted loudly, Auntie, you are so cruel. It hurts me so much when you hit me. I am the only one who can tolerate you. If you keep talking, I won't give you the clothes and shoes I bought for you. When Lu Erxian heard this, he immediately turned his anger into joy and said flatteringly, Auntie, you are the best. Take it out quickly. Don't patronize the two lesbians, Aunt Chue and sister. First, take pity on us gays. Feng Qingyun immediately directed Li Jiaoyang to open one of the boxes, which contained clothes and shoes bought for several boys. It's still the same as before, all sportswear and sneakers, except for an uninflated basketball and a football. Back to the 60s, the struggle career of a charmed wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1944. While the two of them were going back and forth, Chen Swiniang picked out the clothes she liked without any politeness at all, a colorful silk cheongsam with lining, a dark blue windbreaker, and the wide belt around her waist was the highlight. She is old, but her figure is very standard. Sister Xuaniang, you are so discerning. Not to mention the windbreaker, the cheongsam is hand-sewn by an experienced tailor in Hong Kong who came to Hong Kong from Shanghai decades ago. She specializes in cheongsam and has an endless stream of customers. I waited in line when I arrived in Hong Kong and got it when I left Hong Kong. However, the creases appeared due to the folding in the box. You need to straighten it out after taking it back. Feng Qingyun said, and took out 2 more cheongsams from the same box and gave them to Feng Qingxiu. Sister, I made them for you too. Don't you like jade? I think jade, and pearls are the same as cheongsam. Very suitable. Feng Qingxiu showed that she liked it very much at first, and then sighed. What's the matter, sister? Feng Qingyun looked at the cheongsam in her hand. Doesn't it look good? No, the cheongsams I brought here are all the best, with good materials and exquisite workmanship, which really show off the elegance and charm of women. Feng Qingxiu said innocently. I sighed because I couldn't wear it out. It doesn't matter if it's a little fashionable, but the span is too big, and she's worried about falling down. Chen Swiniang chuckled. What's there to sigh about? You can just wear it at home for Lu Zhang to look at. I believe Lu Zhang doesn't want you to wear it out at all after he comes back. The cheongsam during the Republic of China showed off your figure best. Feng Qingxiu stretched out her hand and hit her arm directly. It's a shame that you are a sister and you are talking nonsense in front of the child. Chen Swiniang touched the place where she was beaten and turned around to see that Li Jiaoyang had already taken a few boys out. The ball in the box was not in the box either. They probably went to inflate it. Xiaoun, that's good. You are really discerning in this subject. Chen Swiniang's face was filled with admiration. That's not true, Feng Qingyun was very proud. What I am most grateful to God for in my life is not joining the army, not studying music, not studying abroad, but having such a good sister and brother Jiaoyang. It's useless to talk sweetly in front of me. I'll settle the score with you tonight. Feng Qingyun stuck out her tongue and quickly asked, where should I stay at night? Is there a room for me? You are about to leave. Who will prepare a separate room for you? You and Fu Bao sleep together at night. Her house is the cleanest. Will Jiaoyang live here or go to his parents' place? Li Jiaoyang originally said her mother, Hu Lan, was recuperating in the capital. After finding Li Jiaoyang, she did not go to Commander Rong. Instead, Commander Rong was transferred back to the capital due to illness, and now the couple lives in a nursing home. Stay one night at sister's place and go with him to visit Uncle Rong and Aunt Rong tomorrow morning, Feng Qingyun said. Feng Qingxiu nodded, then stretched out her hand and tapped her nose. Forget it if you perm your hair. You can't wear these clothes when you go there. The nursing home is full of elderly people, so don't scare them. Okay, tie your hair up tomorrow and change into an ordinary dress. Feng Qingyun was not ungrateful. You know, just pay attention to the impact. The army is no better than other places and has always been strictly managed. I don't know how your appearance and behavior today will be spread in the compound tomorrow. At this point, Feng Qingxiu looked a little serious. Back to the 60s, the struggle career of a charmed wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1945. Feng Qingyun shrugged. I have been abroad for so many years and my personality has changed. The position that originally belonged to me in the art troupe will not be vacant waiting for me. Naturally, some people will not welcome me back. There is only one piece of cake. If she takes a piece of it, others will get a piece less. Who would be happy? Competition in this industry has always been fierce. Oh, it's not easy. I thought you couldn't think of this. Hearing her sister's teasing, Feng Qingyun chuckled. I'm not a fool, how could I not think of it? I have discussed it with brother Jiaoyang. If the art troupe allows me to return to my original position, I will stay and sing well. What if not? Or I can't let you return to your original position. Feng Qingyun was a solo performer in the troupe before going abroad. If not, or if I am not satisfied with the new position, I will go abroad to develop and bring brother Jiaoyang with me. Hong Kong is a good choice. Music has no borders, and I have gained a bit of fame outside in the past 2 years. At this point, Feng Qingyun couldn't help but said, "Sister, after I went abroad, I realized how big the world was and how prosperous the economy was, and I realized that I was just a frog in the well." She seemed to feel that her words were a bit wrong, and continued hurriedly, "I'm not saying that our country is not good. I really hope that our country will prosper. I just feel that our country has been closed off for too long and is far behind others. We need us more to contribute to its prosperity. I think it is not a bad idea to go abroad for development. When I return with a great reputation, I can repay the motherland well." "Repay, what should I get in return?" Feng Qingxiu was a little curious. Feng Qingyun said seriously, "The country's biggest shortage is probably foreign exchange, right? Sister, I have played an Asian supporting role in Hollywood, and I can get a salary of $1,000 to $2,000. In Hong Kong, I have also made movies. I received a salary of 50,000 yuan for a musical film. Before that, I released a record with the help of my friends, which sold more than 200,000 copies and received a lot of money. What is the concept of getting this money back? Foreign exchange can do a lot of good things." Feng Qingxiu frowned after hearing this. "Do you want to become an actor, join the entertainment industry?" She thought that her sister would develop well in the army after returning to China. Unexpectedly, she would become ambitious after going abroad. Of course, there is no high or low profession. What is high or low is the human heart. "No, sister, music is my main job. I have won many awards in international music competitions, and I have also participated in other people's concerts and concerts as a guest. I have held small concerts myself with the help of friends. And concerts, the response was very good. As for acting, I can act part-time. Isn't that what I did in China? I made a lot of money from this. You don't know what it is like abroad. Musical instruments are so expensive, so expensive. I bought a piano for Fubao. I don't know when it will arrive. At this time, I feel that the biggest advantage of our country is the low price. Compared with foreign countries, it is really super. No wonder Adrian and the others bring a lot of things with them every time they come back from our country, including imported goods." Fu Bao's eyes widened. "Auntie, you bought me a piano? Is it the piano like in the art troupe?" At the end of last year, the art troupe moved out the piano that had been dusty for many years, and teacher Guan took me to practice it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back to the 60s, The Struggle Career of a Charmed Wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1946. Teacher Guan is Feng Qingyun's teacher Guan Yufen. She used to work in the art troupe, but she quit last year because she felt lack of energy. At first, Fubao wanted to learn to sing and practice her voice, and to learn to dance and practice her body. Feng Qingxiu brought her gifts to find Guan Yufen, and asked her to give Fubao some guidance in music. Sometimes she would also study with the art soldiers during the training of the art troupe. The head of the art troupe felt that Fubao had a sweet voice and was a good prospect, so he wanted to recruit her into the army, but Feng Qingxiu did not agree. The era was different from when her younger sister joined the army. At that time, it was a way out for Feng Qingyun. For Fubao now, it is better to focus on her studies, and her talent in calligraphy and painting far exceeds that of vocal music. Whether it's singing or dancing, now I'm just cultivating my daughter's talent, and my daughter has no plans to pursue a career. After listening to her niece's words, Feng Qingyun did not answer her question. Instead, she clasped her hands together and put them to her mouth. "Oh, honey, if you didn't mention it, I almost forgot. I brought some books and books on vocal music to the teacher. The flute, long flute, a woolen coat and 2 scarves were given to her after dinner. Because Feng Qingxiu wanted to respect the teacher, all the children in the family did not dare to neglect the teacher. Feng Qingxiu rolled her eyes at her. It's your turn, teacher. Why did you think of giving her vocal music books and musical instruments to the elderly? You have the time and money to buy me clothes and jewelry, why not buy me some medical books? In this regard, our country is too far behind other countries, it's time for me to continue studying. How could I have forgotten you, sister? Feng Qingyun chuckled and pointed to one of the boxes. In this whole box, 1/3 are vocal music books and 2/3 are medical materials. Give it to sister, yours are just books in the original language. Feng Qingxiu suddenly became happy. If you hadn't told me earlier, I would have studied it carefully when I came back. You didn't even ask me. Feng Qingyun made a face. There are still some things on the way. I really can't carry that much luggage by myself. I have to leave everything I brought here and what I left behind for brother Jiao Yang in Shanghai. I asked my colleagues for help. Okay, it will take a while before the meal is ready. You change your clothes and go visit teacher Guan with Jiao Yang first. Don't wait until after dinner. Feng Qingyun was slightly startled. Sister, if you ask me to run so far now, can I make it in time to eat? Feng Qingxiu said helplessly, do you know where your teacher lives? After hearing this question, Feng Qingyun shook his head. Fu Bao laughed and said, teacher Guan lives in the family area, but it's not the villa area. Feng Qingyun's eyes lit up. Okay, I'll stop by the art troupe when I get back to ask about my work after returning to China. Fu Bao took her to his room upstairs, carrying the lightest suitcase, and changed into a v-neck white dress with small floral flowers. Her big wavy curls were tied up with a white handkerchief and hung behind her head, and she took them off. Jewelry is still radiant. Li Jiaoyang returned to the house with his children and the inflated basketball and football. When he heard that he was going to visit Guan Yufen, he quickly came over to help distribute the gifts that his girlfriend planned to give to the teacher, tied them to the bicycle that the orderly rode back, and then told Feng Qingxue said, sister, if we come back late, you should eat first and don't wait for us. Feng Qingxiu waved her hand to help them catch the wind and wash away the dust. How could she leave the rightful owner behind? Anyway, I have nothing to do today, I can afford to wait. Back to the 60s, the struggle career of a charmed wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1947. Feng Qingyun and Li Jiaoyang had been there for about 2 hours. Feng Qingxiu and Fu Bao had already hung the clothes they brought with them in their respective wardrobes, and the books had been sorted and moved into the bookcases on the 3rd floor. Of course, excluding the 2 pieces that had been given to Chen Xuanyang and the change of clothes for the young couple in Feng Qingyun's box. How do you arrange your work? Because Fu Bao often went to Guan Yufen's house to study and help with housework, Feng Qingxiu knew Guan Yufen's current situation, so she didn't ask any more questions. Instead, she was concerned about her sister's work issues. Feng Qingyun helped her place the chopsticks and said, I was on leave without pay when I went abroad. Now that I'm back, I'm asked to file a report and apply for reinstatement. The head of the cultural troupe is no longer the head of the art troupe before I went abroad. My attitude wasn't very good. They said I didn't fit in with the image of the army. They told me to straighten my hair, cut it short, and weren't allowed to wear skirts or lipstick. Don't be ridiculous. You thought I didn't see any art soldiers wearing a skirt, applying lipstick, and perming your hair? And yet also said that she didn't see any changes in the art troupe, but I saw it when I first came here. So, I decided that if the job is not satisfactory, I will apply to quit and go abroad to develop. Feng Qingxiu sighed, joining the army is a lifelong benefit, and money is secondary. You will understand in the future. So, I hope you will think carefully about your future development. Feng Qingyun's eyes narrowed and she nodded solemnly, okay, sister. You think it's uncomfortable to stay in the cultural troupe of the capital military region? How about we transfer to Shanghai after we get married? Although he understands that the economic situation abroad is better, Li Jiaoyang still hopes to stay at home and contribute to national construction. Shanghai military region. The art troops are no worse than those in the capital. Many art troops often go abroad to perform, and it is more convenient to go abroad from Shanghai. Feng Qingyun said thoughtfully, "This is a good choice." Li Jiaoyang smiled and said, "Next, you should think carefully. No matter what decision you make, I will support you." Aunt Ye, the oldest, sat on it, listened to their conversation, and asked casually, "You have been together for many years, and Jiaoyang has been waiting for Xiaoun for so many years. Are you planning to get married now?" Two blushes appeared on Feng Qingyun's snow-white cheeks, but she said nothing. But Li Jiaoyang was very calm and said with a smile, "We just planned to get married, so we both came to the capital. After all, my sister, brother-in-law, and my parents, brother and sister-in-law are all in the capital, so it won't be troublesome for you to go to Shanghai." "Congratulations, congratulations, that's great. The wedding will be held in our auditorium." Feng Qingxiu thinks what Grandma Ye said makes sense. It is very honorable to hold a wedding in the military compound auditorium, but she is more concerned about her sister's wedding report. "You have been abroad for several years. Is it too late to report now? Jiaoyang invites you. How long is the vacation? When you come back, I will give you the review and approval instructions for the marriage report. I took half a month off, and my dad said he would call me to remind me," Li Jiaoyang said. Feng Qingxiu slapped the table, "Hurry up and eat. While we are all free today, let's go shopping in the afternoon and buy you wedding supplies." Just as I had this plan, I brought back a lot of foreign currency. I asked, "Can I go to the bank to exchange RMB and overseas remittance coupons, and go to the friendship store and the overseas Chinese store to buy supplies? In addition, I sent you a sum of Hong Kong dollars, sister. I guess I'll receive it soon. You can use the remittance slip to exchange for money and overseas remittance coupons." Feng Qingyun was very thoughtful and didn't mention the remittance to Li Jiaoyang. Back to the 60s, the struggle career of a charmed wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1948. Although the elder sister is the closest, the affairs between men and women cannot be leaked. In order to prove that she was well prepared, Feng Qingyun ran upstairs, took down her purse, and took out a lot of US dollars and Hong Kong dollars. Feng Qingxiu looked at them and warned, "I see that you didn't bring any gifts to Comrade Rong and Comrade Hu. We are going shopping in the afternoon. Don't forget to buy something for them first and bring them with them when they visit tomorrow." Li Jiaoyang said hurriedly, "I bought it in this way. The quantity is quite large. It was mailed directly from Shanghai to the nursing home where my parents live a few days ago. It must have arrived. Moreover, my parents called me to tell me about the new house and wedding supplies. It has been prepared for a long time, so I went shopping in the afternoon and asked Yun Yun to buy some more clothes for my sister and the children." The look on Feng Qingxiu's face became even more satisfied. It didn't matter how many things there were, what mattered most was the attitude. The attitude of the Rong family showed that they attached great importance to the marriage between their sister and Li Jiaoyang. "The preparations your parents have made are yours, we have to prepare them for this dowry. How can you marry a woman with nothing?" When conditions were so bad more than 10 years ago, the Lu family paid enough betrothal gifts, and she also prepared some dowry. Lu Erxiang shouted, "Oh oh oh, I'm buying a dowry, I'm buying a dowry, I'm buying a dowry for my aunt." Just when Li Jiaoyang was about to say no, Grandma Ye said, "That's right. I'll add makeup to Xiaoun tomorrow too. Xiaoun, after redeeming the overseas remittance coupons, don't forget to give me some when you come back. I'll be with you. Your uncle Ye has a lot of money, but the tickets are not enough. Don't worry, I will definitely bring you a bunch of money back. There is a lot of foreign currency, and I will definitely not be able to use up all the overseas remittance coupons." Chen Swiniang said politely, "Don't forget me." Lao Zheng and I saw a lot of good things at the friendship store a while ago. We wanted to buy a washing machine, an air conditioner and a color TV. Unfortunately, I don't have a foreign passport. I don't have any remittance coupons, so I can only stare. Feng Qingyun said nothing except nodding in agreement. Lu Zhang and Feng Qingxiu took a car to attend the meeting. The car assigned to Lu Zhang by the state stayed at home, but one car could not pull them all, so Feng Qingxiu went to borrow another car. Grandma Ye was getting older and wanted to take a nap. She didn't want to go shopping with the young people, so she didn't go. Instead, before sending them to the car, she stuffed a lot of money into Ye Yan and said, "When you see something you like, just ask your aunt for it when buying overseas remittance coupons, don't save money with your grandparents. If your younger siblings like it, you should also buy it for them. Don't be stingy." Lu Erxian climbed up the pole, his mouth was very sweet. "Thank you, Grandma Ye, I will bring you delicious food when you come back." After entering the city, first go to the designated bank exchange point to exchange money and overseas remittance coupons, and then go to the friendship store. Seeing her sister go directly to the silk counter to buy quilts and pull silk satin to make a suitcase jacket, Feng Qingyun said, "Actually, there is no need to buy too many things. My job has not been settled yet, and the scorching sun is in Shanghai again. It's not troublesome to buy something and take it back to work. If we are really missing something, we can just buy it in Shanghai." Feng Qingxiu said disapprovingly, "Bedding and the like are necessities, how can you not buy them? Will you never return to the capital? You also said that your job has not been settled. As for the jewelry, you can ignore it. I saved some for you. The box is waiting for you to leave. Pull 2 more pieces of satin. The old tailor I know, Master Zhang, also makes clothes very well and is very good at designing new clothes." Chen Swiniang suddenly said, "Don't Xiaoun like Chongsam very much? Just ask Master Zhang to make it." When Master Zhang was young, he specialized in making clothes for wealthy families, and the Chongsam he made was no worse than what Xiaoun brought back. That's all for today. In the afternoon, I went to buy the drinks and gifts I had ordered. In the morning, I went to buy pork and whole sheep along the thick snow-covered road. The car almost slipped into a ditch. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back to the 60s, the struggle career of a charmed wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1949. Under the influence of their elders, the children raised by the Lu family are very careless in their actions. It is better to say that it is undisciplined than extravagant. Feng Qingyun has been abroad for several years, and now he has a huge sum of money and overseas remittance certificates, which makes him extremely wealthy. Seeing that prices in our country are so low, it feels like I'm taking advantage of it. When she first arrived abroad, it took her a long time to adapt to the high prices in France. Fortunately, her sister brought her a box of gold. After the most difficult period, I started to work part-time to make money and slowly relied on my talent to gain a foothold, and finally things got better. Therefore, if Feng Qingxiu likes something, Feng Qingyun just makes one move and pays for it. Li Jiaoyang had only one action. He and the guard who acted as the driver followed them to carry things for everyone. But Chen Swiniang didn't ask Feng Qingyun to pay a penny. She asked Feng Qingyun for a stack of overseas remittance coupons, and went home. She and Zheng Jinrui took their bank books to withdraw money, and actually bought a washing machine, air conditioner, and color TV. Almost caused a sensation in the entire friendship store. The 3 big items now are sewing machines, bicycles and radios. Washing machines, air conditioners, and color TVs are simply oversized items. Buying 3 oversized items at once costs thousands of dollars, then you are not an ordinary person. Chen Swiniang said happily, "I have stopped washing clothes by hand 800 years ago. I need to use good hands. They are as rough as old tree bark every year. No matter how much clam oil is applied on them, it is useless. If I don't apply them for a day, they will crack in the wind. It's good now. Just throw the clothes, sheets, and smelly socks in the washing machine for a spin. It saves time and effort, and Lao Zheng doesn't have to work hard anymore. Aunt Chue, the washing machine you just bought, how did you know that you can wash clothes with just one spin? Lu Erxiang suddenly flashed his big eyes full of curiosity. My head is so smart, I don't know how to wash clothes before I return to the capital with my mother. I know what a washing machine and an air conditioner are and how to use them, and it's the first time I've seen a big color TV. Chen Swiniang tapped his forehead with her finger. Have you never eaten pork? Have you ever seen a pig run away? That's not necessarily true. I heard from people in our hometown that some poor villages do not raise pigs. My grandfather and elder brother also took us to see the living conditions in poor villages where there was not enough food to eat. In our brigade, we gave sweet potatoes to the pigs. They have to eat all the leaves. They don't raise pigs, and they have never been in a production team, so naturally they can't eat pork and see the pigs run away, Lu Erxiang said plausibly. Chen Swiniang gritted her teeth and said, strong words. Lu Erxiang retorted, it was Aunt Chue who spoke carelessly and didn't answer my questions. After hearing this, Chen Swiniang surrendered helplessly under his entanglement. Han Yes grandfather has a washing machine, air conditioner, color TV, and refrigerator at home. I have seen it before, so of course I know how to use the washing machine. Lu Erxiang got the answer and was satisfied and stopped asking any more questions. Feng Qingyun said boldly, Xiang, don't ask. Just look at the store to see if there is anything you like. My aunt will buy it for you. Fuebao, Dun Dun, Zhuang, and Yan will do the same for you. Of course. You are only allowed to buy one or two things. If you buy more, I won't pay for it. I have to save it for the dowry. Feng Qingxiu continued, everyone is not allowed to buy more than 5 yuan, and the money given by Grandma Hui is not allowed. No matter what you promise your children, you must set a bottom line. Then can we buy something that costs more than 5 yuan together? Zhuang suddenly asked. Back to the 60s, the struggle career of a charmed wife. Author, Ning Xiaobai. Chapter 1950. Feng Qingxiu pondered for a moment, looking at the hope in her youngest son's dark eyes. She couldn't help but feel tenderness on her lips, and said with a smile, of course, but you need to get the other person's consent, and you can't force it. Zhuang cheered and pushed Dun Dun, third brother, it's 10 yuan for us to put it together. What do you like? And me, I don't have anything I want to buy, so I can scrape together 15 yuan. Although Fu Bao loves beauty and likes to wear new clothes the most, she knows what propriety means, not to mention that the clothes in the friendship store are missing. It must be more beautiful than what she already owns, and as for jewelry, none of it can compare to her own jade bracelet. Yan followed closely, I don't want to buy anything, so you can buy something worth 20 yuan. He lived in the Lu family, where he never ran out of food, clothing, and supplies, and lived comfortably. His grandparents often invited them to eat, or brought him food, clothing, and entertainment. There really was nothing he needed to buy. Lu Erxiang screamed, his face flushed, his expression full of anger, how could you do this? I only gave my brother money and didn't even mention him. He also wanted to buy something worth more than 5 yuan. That beautiful cream cake was priced at 6 yuan. It was really mouth-watering. Zhuang shrugged, I can't help it, third brother is a good character. When they heard what he said, the adults all laughed and understood what he meant. Among the children, Dun Dun was the one who had no desires, and was neither noisy nor noisy. This honest mentality made everyone feel sad the most. Lu Erxiang was so angry that he waved his fist. If it weren't for the strict upbringing and no fighting was allowed, he would have wanted to hit his brother with a bad smile on his face. At this moment, the family's orderly came over in a hurry. He didn't have time to salute Feng Qingxiu, and said breathlessly, "Hurry, go back quickly. Comrade Guo asked me to come to you, saying that the current leader of the art troupe, Li, is going to fight." The report said that Comrade Feng Qingyun had lived in a capitalist country for a long time and was contaminated with the bad habits of capitalism. If he appeared on the stage to perform for the military and civilians, it would have a bad impact, so it was recommended that the army fire Comrade Feng Qingyun. Get out of the troops, so that you don't have to follow the example. After hearing this, the group of people suddenly changed their colors. Feng Qingxiu hurriedly asked, "Did Aunt Ye say anything else?" The orderly who came to report the news thought for a while and replied, "Comrade Guo didn't say anything else. He only asked me to come to you and Comrade Feng Qingyun to go home quickly. I heard that the higher-ups are coming to investigate. Let me just say, the current head of the art troupe doesn't like me. Why did Head Bai ask her to replace him? It's just one moment and another. Speaking of which, you are also responsible for yourself. It is not a sin to like to dress up. I understand your pursuit of beauty, but if you dress up like that and come in arrogantly even though you know the strict management of the army, they don't care about you. Who are you looking for? I'm worried about Citron who has nothing to show for now." Feng Qingyun actually felt a little regretful in her heart, but she was stubborn and refused to give in, shouting, "That's what I said, but it's not like there are no art soldiers in the art troupe who have permed hair, put on lipstick and wear skirts, so why should I be used as a rafter? Who told you that you came back after studying abroad for several years?" Feng Qingxiu gave her a blank look and looked at the things she had bought. "Let's go back quickly. We will buy the unfinished things tomorrow. Let's settle this matter first. On the way back, you'd better consider what choice to make, whether to stay or find another career. There are a lot of things to do, and I'm afraid that people will be waiting. I'll update 2 chapters first. Please ask for monthly votes on the first. If the monthly votes rank high, I will update 8 more chapters today. If there are not too many monthly votes, I will update only 6 chapters. Around noon, this month long-term effective.